Hello everyone. Today we will talk about Meg14, Empty Chest written by Indira Goswami. इसमें आज हम नैरेटिव टेक्निक पढ़ेंगे, स्टाइल पढ़ेंगे एंड एटमॉस्फेयर पढ़ेंगे. Let us start with the narrative technique. One of the most important elements to be noted while discussing narratives is the difference between the person who speaks and the person who sees. They may be the same person, though they need not be. Here the speaker is an omniscient third person narrator. मतलब वो बोल भी रहा है और वही देख भी रहा है. He is not a character in the story and stands outside the action of the story. We see things through his or her eyes. He or she is the focalizer. He has the godlike capacity to look into the minds of all characters and knows what is happening in them. He could be called the narrator focalizer. He stands outside the action of the story. He sees things from the point of Tora Doi, who is a very intense character. This is the source of the intensity that one finds in the story. For example, as she came out of her shack, Tora Doi saw Hybor, the firewood vendor, from the cemetery, standing under the hyjal tree. Again, his spindly legs stuck out from beneath his black shorts. His white teeth gleamed like the chewed up remains of sugarcane sticks. The third person narrator focalizer is describing the scene outside Tora Doi's shack in the morning. Tora Doi is a character focalized here. मतलब जो अपना नरेटर है वो तोरा दोई को फोकस करके बात कर रहा है. Now, but she is also the focalizer so far as Hybor is concerned. राइटर ये बता रहा है कि तोरा दोई के मन में क्या चल रहा है ना. We see तोरा दोई viewing Hybor. The description of Hybor's spindly legs, an image of his white teeth resembling the chewed up remains of sugarcane sticks, suggests the extent of her dislike of Hybor and that he is of no use to her. As we said earlier, Tora Doi is an intense character, but the external narrator focalizer is no less intense. Note the following description. The bulbuls on the hyjal tree started chirping noisily. The sun rose above the Brahmaputra. Wreaths of violet and brown clouds clung to it, making it look like the pinched and pale face of a hapless prostitute, blushing at the thought of having to spend time with an unwanted stranger. The clouds seemed to lay bare the strange combination of helplessness and indomitable strength on this face. Here we have the narrator describing the scene after the death of love in Tora Doi's life. The comparison suggested here is also complex, but the image of clouds looking like the pinched and pale face of a hapless prostitute, blushing at the thought of having to spend time with an unwanted stranger, vocalizes, means tells the feelings of Tora Dois after her faith in the love of Sarubopa proves illusory, मतलब भ्रम. Her helplessness and her indomitable strength. The comparison conveys a great deal about Toradoi's changed attitude in life. Now I am talking about the style. The writer writes in a very intense and cryptic style. Intense बहुत ही गहरा and hidden style है. Her language is very expressive of the situation depicted. Her similes are very vivid and unconventional and say a great deal. Language बहुत ही expressive है, बहुत ही vivid है, बहुत lively है, अनकन्वेंशनल है. जो राइटर्स उस टाइम बहुत सारे राइटर्स जो है ना कन्वेंशनल वे में लिखते हैं, ये अनकन्वेंशनल है. दिस इज हाउ हाइबॉट द फायरवुड वेंडर इन द क्रीमेटोरियम इज डिस्क्राइब्ड. वो जो हमने पहले लाइन पढ़ी थी ना, उसकी पतली टांगे हैं, उसकी टीथ किस तरह के हैं, वही लाइंस फिर से आ जाती हैं. One more description is there in her style. The poverty-stricken, malnourished condition of Toradoi's children is portrayed vividly in the following expression. Their trousers hung loose like the hides of goats, strung up in a butcher's shop. Butcher shop में जैसे कोट को लटका दिया जाता है ना, उसकी जो गोट की जो खाल होती है वो कैसे लटक जाती है, वैसे ही बच्चों की बॉडी में ट्राउज़र्स भी वैसे ही लटके हुए हैं. नोट द इमेज ऑफ वायलेंस इन द अबव डिस्क्रिप्शन. वायलेंस भी है. सच वायलेंट इमेजेस आर कॉमन इन अ स्टोरी. इस तरह की जो वायलेंट इमेजेस हैं वो बहुत कॉमन है इंदिरा गोस्वामी की स्टोरीज में. वन मोर एग्जाम्पल इज देयर showing her style of writing. The sun rose over the Brahmaputra. Wreaths of violet and brown clouds clung to it. ये हमने पहले भी पढ़ा हुआ है, तो I will skip it now. The suggestion is clear here that ये जो lines हैं इनका clearly इसमें बताया गया है कि Toradoi is not averse to the life of prostitute anymore. मीन्स वो इसके अगेंस्ट नहीं है. बट द आयरनी इज हर अनवांटेड सूटर इज़ नॉट अराउंड एनी मोर. उसका जो सूटर है, जो उसको चाहने वाला है, वो वहाँ अब नहीं है. अभी हम लोग एटमॉस्फेयर की बात करेंगे. गोस्वामीज, इंदिरा गोस्वामीज शॉर्ट स्टोरीज आर नोन टू शो एन ऑब्सेशन विद डेथ. ऑब्सेशन विद डेथ, डेथ से रिलेटेड काफ़ी चीज़ें वो लिखती थी. एक प्रोफेसर नामवर सिंह रहे हैं, उन्होंने लिखा था मेंशन ऑफ डेथ एंड सिमिट्रीज आर फ्रिक्वेंट इन हर स्टोरीज. दिस एट लीस्ट सीम्स ट्रू फॉर द एम्प्टी चेस्ट. द राइटर हैज सेट हर स्टोरी इन अ क्रीमेशन ग्राउंड एंड ऑल द एक्शंस इन इट टेक्स प्लेस देयर. Consequently, the atmosphere of the story is somber, दुख वाला है. However, it is not altogether dark. It is enlivened by love and also lust. The first paragraph prepares us for the peculiar atmosphere of the story. Now I'll start. Extract from a book. No one got up at this hour, not even the people who had come to live on the fringes of the cremation ground. A few bulbuls chattered in the hijal tree in front of Toradoi's shack. The stench, means gandh, of burnt human flesh stole across the cremation ground to mingle with the sweet scent of distant lemon blossom. इस तरह का एटमॉस्फेयर दिया गया है. This togetherness of death and life, or its variations, death and love, or death and desire, give it a strange atmosphere. The extract also shows the constant presence of nature as a backdrop. Now we are told how the poor people living there carry the belongings of the dead that lie scattered on the cremation ground into their shacks and shanties. The most important article in the story is an empty chest that had been used to ferry the dead body of the lover of the protagonist, Toradoi, who makes the what makes the atmosphere truly weird is that she not only drags it inside her shack but also wears her wedding blouse and wriggles into it to relive the moment of love with her lover. And this she does for several days till she learns the truth about the man. The atmosphere of death that surrounds the story lends urgency to Toradoi's desperate efforts to salvage the moment of love from her otherwise hard and loveless life. Thank you so much.